The air grew thick with an unspoken dread, even as unimaginable gold began to gleam. For when the seal was broken on an ancient pharaoh's tomb, it wasn't just millennia of darkness that spilled out, but a shadow that would relentlessly stalk the living into their very graves. It began, as many profound historical discoveries do, with the relentless pursuit of an impossible dream. For years, the British Egyptologist Howard Carter had scoured the relentless sands of the Valley of the Kings, his conviction unwavering: one last, great secret lay hidden beneath the relentless Egyptian sun. He sought the lost burial place of a minor pharaoh, a boy king named Tutankhamun, whose brief reign from 1332 to 1323 BC had left few monumental traces, yet hinted at an untouched, unfathomable legacy. The sheer audacity of such a belief, when all others had surrendered, marked Carter as either a fool or a visionary. His financial backer, Lord Carnarvon, a wealthy English aristocrat with a profound passion for ancient Egypt, had funded the extensive archaeology excavation for 5 fruitless seasons, each year diminishing both hope and patience. By October 1922, Carnarvon was ready to withdraw his patronage. The scorching heat, the pervasive dust, the sheer scale of the undertaking had yielded little more than broken pottery and empty promises. But Carter, possessed by a singular, consuming obsession, pleaded for one final season. With a reluctant, almost weary sigh, Carnarvon granted it. It was a decision that would forever alter the course of history, and perhaps seal the fate of many involved. On November 4, 1922, as the sun began its ascent over the eastern cliffs of the valley, a water boy stumbled upon a stone step buried beneath the debris of ancient workmen's huts, the very huts Carter had decided, against all odds, to excavate beneath. This single step led to another, then another, descending purposefully into the bedrock. Within days, a complete flight of 12 steps emerged, leading down to a sealed doorway. This entrance bore the initial task was daunting, to painstakingly catalog every single item in the antechamber before daring to venture further into the unknown. Over the following weeks, as the world's press descended upon Luxor, a dizzying array of treasures emerged, gilded couches shaped like mythical beasts, intricately carved. Less than 5 months after Carter's initial glimpse into the Tutankhamun tomb, and just weeks after the sarcophagus was opened, Lord Carnarvon fell gravely ill. He had suffered a mosquito bite on his cheek which, tragically, became infected during a shaving mishap. This seemingly innocuous event rapidly spiraled into erysipelas and pneumonia. On April 5, 1923, in Cairo, Carnarvon died. At the precise moment of his, scientists and skeptics quickly offered rational explanations. Perhaps the tomb contained ancient molds, bacteria, or fungi that had lain dormant for millennia, suddenly released into the air and proving fatal to those with compromised immune systems. Some suggested toxic gases, such as hydrogen sulfide or radon, could have accumulated in the sealed chamber. Others posited that ancient Egyptian priests might have used pesticides like arsenic to protect the valuable contents, substances that could have become airborne. The heavy metals used in the tomb's decoration, or even bat guano, were also considered as potential environmental hazards. These theories provided a comforting scientific veneer to the inexplicable, suggesting that the curse was merely nature's revenge, not a supernatural one. However, many of these scientific explanations, while plausible in theory, lacked concrete evidence. No specific pathogens or toxins were ever conclusively identified as the cause of death. Furthermore, they failed to account for the more unusual occurrences, the Cairo power blackouts, the synchronous death of a distant pet, the seemingly targeted nature of the misfortunes. Howard Carter himself, the one most intimately involved with the tomb for over a decade, lived to the age of 64, dying of lymphoma in 1939, a relatively normal lifespan for the era, and certainly not a sudden, mysterious death. This fact is often cited as a definitive debunking of the curse, proof that it was merely a sensationalist fabrication. But those who argue against the curse often overlook the subtle, insidious toll it takes. Carter, though he lived longer, was undeniably haunted by the experience. His later years were marked by isolation and a pervasive weariness, a man burdened by the immense weight of his discovery and the inescapable shadow it cast. He never undertook another major excavation